Good morning. So this is part 2 update on how to drive without a license. Once again, I don't encourage people to drive without a license, especially if you're suspended. Remember, that is a crime. Don't want to drive while suspended because you will go to jail. Driving without an operator's license, some places they will take you to jail still. So keep that in mind. If you're going to do that, I don't approve of it. Myself, I don't have a license. I've never had a driver's license. Just due to a lot of stuff, I've never had a driver's license. And trust me, when you get older, it gets a lot fucking harder to get, especially when you're poor and you ain't got much money. I mean, I have a boat I live on, but I do a lot of traveling. I sell gemstones. I'm just trying to live my life like everybody else does. So, the last time I did a recording, I was down in my area where I live, which is Sarasota, Florida. I was in my truck there at the marina. I'm speaking to you now from northern Georgia. 750 miles through some of the worst policed area in the country, in my opinion. Florida and Georgia are no joke when it comes to highway patrol and sheriffs and police and stuff. You know, they're on that shit. So here I sit in my truck, no license, no registration, no insurance. I'm not going to tell you what town I'm in because I really don't want them to come and be like, oh, it's him. Anyways, I'm sitting here and yeah, I just drove, well, more than that. I actually went up to the North Carolina county line just the other day to go collect some minerals up there, and I did pretty good. I got some kyanite, and I actually found a couple rubies. So that being said, just an update. Here I am, northern Georgia. I drove 700 something miles, loaded with cops. I mean, every fucking where. Here I am. Why? Because of those tips I gave you in my first video. I'm going to go over those again real quick and give you a couple other things too that I kind of forgot to mention in there. One, remember, don't speed. When you speed, you catch the attention of law enforcement. Remember, they're sitting in random spots, jacking off and clocking you with their radar just to pull you over to speed, okay? I, for one, think that if there's enough time for them to sit around and do nothing but point a gun at people and try to catch them from speeding, then there's not enough for them to do. And we all know the idle hands are the devil's workshop. I'm all about defunding the police. Not getting rid of the police, obviously, but defunding them. I think that we need to get rid of 50% of the law enforcement in this country and unmilitarize them and make the people, you know, decide who and what type of law enforcement police our society. You know, because you get sickos and, you know, fucked up people like the Simon Says death guy over in fucking Phoenix, you know. Someone needs to go and shoot that guy, because that guy's a fucking piece of work. Have you ever seen that video, man? It's horrible. The guy makes the guy crawl on his face for 50 feet, begging for his life for the last fucking 2 minutes of his life, and then shoots him. You know, I mean, those are the kinds of police that we do not need here. What we need are police that are associated with sheriffs, more so than anything else. I guess this video kind of went away from driving without a license to my griping about the police, so I guess I'll just keep going because I don't want to make another video just yet. So remember that the police are not your friends. They never will be your friends. Their sole purpose is to arrest you or to ticket you and to somehow make revenue off of you. And if they can't make revenue off of you by ticketing you, they'll make revenue off of you by sending your ass to jail. Remember, we have a for-profit prison system in this country. So, with that being said, the police have to be held accountable for their actions. I think that they should have a lot of the power that they possess needs to be taken away. No more police. No more, no more, no more. And the ones that we do have need to be held accountable for every action that they take, that they do, and every decision that they make, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And don't get me wrong, you know, I do firmly believe that there are some people out there that need to be fucking shot, you know. Like last night, for instance, I was sitting in the parking lot, and I got up and I stretched, and this truck came into the parking lot I was hanging out in, real fast, you know. It wasn't a cop, but it was just real fast, real jerky, you know what I mean? And of course I fucking watched him. Wouldn't you? right? Wouldn't anybody? And they did a little bit of a turn, and then they stopped and asked if I had a problem. You got a problem, bro? And I said, no. I said, you got a problem? And they were like, you were just staring at us. And I was like, man, I was just watching you guys come in, tear through the parking lot going 40 miles an hour. Who wouldn't watch you? You know? And they're like, well, okay, well, I thought you had a problem. I said, no, man, I ain't got no issues with you. You know? I mean, I don't know if you have issues with me. You know, we can handle it. And they said, no, it's good, man. Have a good night, bro. And they took off. They didn't know I had my 40 cal right there. Yes, I do travel with my firearm. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know, it's accessible. It's right here. I think that we are in for a ride. I think that by the time the elections happen, we're really gonna fucking be in for a ride. And I think either way the elections go, whether we get the orange man back in office, Trump, or if we get creepy, touchy-feely Joe in office, which I actually think that the people in charge realize that Trump is great for dividing us and great for making us squabble and fight amongst ourselves. But I think that if they know that if they put creepy Joe in there, that enough people will freak out because they're Trumpers, you know. And yeah, I'll say it. 30% of y'all out there would drop on your knees and suck his dick if he whipped it out in front of you, and you know you would. I mean, if you support the orange man still, then something's wrong with your brain. I mean, he's a piece of work. Sorry, I got distracted by a absolutely beautiful girl walking down the street. Wow. Anyways, sorry, I get distracted. Tend to get distracted a little easier. Damn, she is fine. And that's not toxic masculinity. That is any man in the fucking world who's not gay, sees a pretty girl, goes, wow. And don't think that you girls don't do it to us too. Well, maybe not me. I'm not that great looking, but I've had it happen a few times. I've been catcalled. I mean, not many, but it's happened. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So my advice for you for the elections is to secure yourselves, to make sure that you are in a place where you can put up a defense, because you think the civil unrest is bad now. Okay, just wait until the elections come. I mean, it's gonna be bad. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The police. You have city police, which we all know, or if you don't know, you're about to. City police are contracted. Okay, they're basically private contractors in the form of police for each city that they work for. For instance, Sarasota Police Department. They're contracted by the city of Sarasota, the city council. The city pays their wages. Okay, so all your city taxes that you pay go to pay the police. All right. The county is the sheriff. Obviously, he's an elected official. His deputies reflect upon him, and that's what I feel that we should have is, you know, sheriff's deputies and sheriffs, because they're more connected to the community. You know, they have to run for their election platforms. They have to be voted in by the people. And when you have that kind of thing, you have a tendency, even though you got some places that are super rednecky, super conservative, and they'll hire super conservative sheriffs. And, you know, people will be like, if you're not doing nothing wrong, then you don't have anything to worry about. Well, that's bullshit. Okay, you don't have to be doing anything wrong. They hunt for anything wrong. Okay, that's what police do. Remember, they're over-glorified revenue collectors. They're not your protectors. They're not your friends. Their sole purpose is to collect revenue for the county or the city that they work for. Police. You know, oh, don't get me wrong, sheriffs do it too. Why do you think the jails ran by the sheriffs? All right, remember the for-profit prison system that we have here. So, if we get rid of city police departments, okay, there's no longer a private contracted mercenary force in a way. All right. Have you ever tried to sue a cop? I have, and it failed. I failed miserably, and not because of my lack of knowledge of the law. You know, having been in and out of the system enough, I'm pretty well versed on how the law works. However, when you try to sue a city cop, you can't sue the police department. You can't sue him. You have to sue the city. Most people don't realize that. And then when you try to sue a city, you have to deal with their city attorney. And the city attorney went to law school. His sole purpose is the other side of what you're doing. Okay, you got your side, and then you have the city attorney side. The cops, all and everything works for the city attorney. So if they come down on you, you're battling the city attorney, not the police officer or the police department. If you can sue the police department yourself, you would win. I mean, you would be able to actually have something done, because we all know that 90% of the cops out there, they don't know their fucking laws. They know the little bit of things that they can do to pull you over or stop you and arrest you. But half of them don't know the law, and half of them violate the law. I mean, how many times have you been arrested? I've been arrested, fuck, I'm not proud of this. And, you know, it's not that I'm a bad guy, it's just predatory police tactics. I've been arrested hundreds of times. Seriously, hundreds. I've been to jail. I've been to prison, I've been to jail, all over this country, you know. Most of, you know, I've never been convicted of any felonies, you know. Well, I take that back. I got convicted of a felony, California PC 529, impersonation of another individual, my first and only felony, and I did 16 months in prison for that. My first felony. Like, where was my privilege? I'd love to have some of that privilege then. I did 16 months, man. I went to San fucking Quentin. All right, San Quentin. I've been to High Desert State Prison. I've been down in, I forget what it's called, the prison in San Diego now, the state prison down there. I went to that complex. I went to Baker CCF out in the middle of fucking the Mojave Desert for 6 months before they closed that fucking trap down. That being said, you know, it's all a for-profit system. It's all a for-profit way to make them make money. So there's two things that we need to do in order to get rid of aggressive policing tactics. One, we need to get rid of the for-profit prison system. The for-profit prison system makes it so they go out and they seek problems. They seek law enforcement. Not police, peace officers. Remember back in the day they kept the peace and then they became police? You know what police means? The definition of police means to regulate, if you would. Like, I'm sorry, I'm still first cup of coffee. It means to regulate. It means to enforce. Hence the name law enforcement. So they're out there, their whole sole purpose is to find something wrong with you, your vehicle, or your life, and come down upon you with it and remove your freedoms. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. And if you don't have money, then you go to jail. If you have money, then you don't go to jail. For instance, when was the last time you heard anybody going to jail for fucking pot? Like, it's been a long time, well, since 2015 for me, and I didn't have any pot. I had a pipe, and I got fucked with in Murphy, North Carolina, Cherokee County. And I'll tell you what, man, North Carolina is fucking stuck back in the 1920s, dude. They're fucking idiots up there. Asheville, all that fucking shit, dude. Crap city, crap state, crap laws. I got harassed by Murphy City PD. Go figure, right? I was walking down the road and they cut me off with their cruiser, jumped out and started yelling at me. Next thing you know, they're fucking throwing me to the ground, they're searching my shit, they find a fucking empty pot pipe, and I go to jail. I told the dumb motherfuckers I had tuberculosis, and they freaked out, put me into my own isolation cell. I have my own bed, my own shower, my own TV. And then I told them I was a vegan, and I'm not a vegan. I am a fucking carnivorous motherfucker. But remember, if you ever, I consider it being a prisoner of war because it's a war on the poor. So, you know, disrupt and disorganize the enemy however you can. And that means making them cost money. If the more money, remember, you're there to make them money. So if you cost them money while you're there, you're not worth it. As long as you're not there for a big, huge crime, then, you know, they're going to get rid of you like they did me. However, so I go to court, and my public pretender, because, you know, I can't afford an attorney. If I could afford an attorney, I wouldn't have been in the jail 2/3 of the time, if not all the times. I would never win the prison if I had an attorney, I guarantee you that. He comes up and says, oh, hey, do you have $350? And I said, no, I don't have $350, not right now. I mean, like, why? And they're like, well, they want $350. I said, oh, what, for a fine for an empty pipe? And he was like, yeah, or 6 months in jail. 6 months of my life in jail for an empty fucking pot pipe. Or I could pay you $350 and be free today. That right there should tell you how the system works. How the fucking law enforcement does its thing. And it's bullshit. And no, I didn't do 6 months, and no, I didn't give him $350. It's a misdemeanor crime, okay? So I looked at my public pretender and I said, so they won't extradite out of state, over state lines? He was like, no. I was like, what about counties? He's like, well, counties will bring you back. I said, okay. And he's like, and I said, have a good one. He's like, where are you going? I said, I'm leaving the fucking state of North Carolina never to come back because you're not going to come out of state to get me. Fuck your state, fuck you, fuck the judge, fuck the district attorney. And he was like, well, that's a little harsh. I said, no, you guys are a little harsh. You guys are using your position of power to extort me out of money. And since I don't have money to be extorted out of, you're going to take my freedom for 6 months for an empty fucking pipe? Murphy, North Carolina has one of the biggest meth and heroin problems in the nation. I mean, it's this fucking big. I went into that courtroom that day, and on the sign, you know, there's max room capacity, you know, maximum occupancy signs. Every fucking place has them. Is the certain amount of, oh, what the hell is that? My dog. Whoa. There's a certain amount of, whoa, that's weird. There's a certain amount of, sorry, there's a lump on my dog that I just noticed. Never been there before. There's a certain amount of people that are allowed. Sorry, I'm distracted because of that lump. It scared me. There's a certain amount of people that are allowed in a room. And when I went into that courtroom, it was standing room only. It said 250 people. There must have been 350 people in there. Possession of controlled substance, burglary while possession of controlled substance, probation, violation of probation, burglary, possession of controlled substance. You get my idea. It was a whole courtroom full of fucking tweakers and junkies, all right? And they have the gall to want to send me to jail for 6 months for an empty fucking pop pipe? What the fuck? Anyway, that being said, of course I didn't go back to jail, and I will never go to North Carolina again. As far as I'm concerned, the state could burn. But if we want to change law enforcement as a society, we have to quit bickering amongst each other. We have to quit pointing fingers and looking at different people's. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no love lost for fucking junkies or tweakers or drunks or drug addicts. I mean, I think it's stupid to destroy yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you might as well just go out there and fucking shoot yourself in the head. If you're going to be a junkie or a tweaker, you know, it's not COVID. I quit smoking cigarettes, ironically, because it destroys me. If you're a junkie or a tweaker, you're kind of useless to us as a society. You know what I mean? Like, you've got that dependency. You've got you'll do almost anything to get it. I've seen it. We all seen it. I've only been robbed like 3 times in my life, and it was always by a fucking tweaker. You know, I've had my shit stolen, always by a tweaker. I've had my house broken into, my car broken into, and it was always fucking tweakers. Okay, junkies are usually too high to do anything like that. They'll sit out there and beg, or go sling the puss, or go suck some dick for fucking, for opiates. And tweakers will too, but a tweaker was more likely to rob you. They're not human. They've lost all semblancy of humans, of being a human being when they started doing that meth. I mean, we've all seen the pictures of the pick marks, you know, fucking, you know. Crackheads aren't even as bad as fucking tweakers, man. Anyway, again, I'm kind of straying off the point here. Back to the point, which is law enforcement and driving without a license, which is my original part of the post. I have a tendency to wander. Remember, drive in that right lane, go slow, okay? Try to have the outside appearance of your vehicle legal, all right? Don't use fucking fake tags, don't use fake license plates, because then that's an actual crime, and you will go to jail. Remember, that's their whole purpose, is to try to put you in jail, or take your money and put it in their pocket. And if you don't have money to give them, just like I experienced in North Carolina, they want to put you in jail to collect that money, because they get state and federal funding from the projection of how many people are in their jail. And so watch your P's and Q's, and remember, police are not your friends. Don't talk to the police. Don't interact with the police. The best thing you can do when you experience the police is ask them, am I being detained or arrested? If they say that you're being detained, say, okay, I would like to be read my rights. And I choose my Fifth Amendment. I choose the right to remain silent, because anything against me, anything I say can and will be used against me in the court of law. Also remember your Miranda rights. You still have those rights. If they don't Mirandize you, anything that they ask you and anything that you say, which you shouldn't be saying shit, cannot be used against you in the court of law. If you're not Mirandized upon, oh, it came off. If you're not Mirandized upon arrest, then anything that's said and used can't be used against you legally. Now, of course, they will. You know, they will use it against you. But just remember, Miranda's a big thing. If you don't get read your Miranda rights, then you won't. Then they really don't have any action against you. Problem is they'll lie. Cops lie. All right. It's against the law for you to lie to a cop, but it's not against the law for the cops to lie to you. Lie through their fucking teeth. Like, oh well, you know, if you just give me what you got, I'll make things will be a lot easier on you. Don't fucking fall for that shit. The police have no say so what happens behind the doors of the courtroom. That's up to the judge and the district attorney. You know, the police can be like, well, if you give me your shit, it'll be a lot easier. That's not true. Don't listen to that. It's a trick. It's a trap. They have no say-so in what your sentencing can be. They have no say-so in what your fines can be. And they have no say-so in how you are treated when you step into that courtroom. So, remember, police are not your friends. Police are not to be trusted. Police are not, they're not somebody that you want in your life. So remember, shut the fuck up, don't talk to the police, and be safe out there, okay? It's funny, years ago, we would have been stopped by the police for wearing masks. It's not the best one right here. There you go, bandito style. Remember, we would have been stopped for doing this for gang reasons or because they were scared of us. Stay safe out there. Stay away from the Rona. Love yourselves and your people. Peace.